Hi everyone, welcome to What to Click Tech Tips for Authors. I'm Lisa, and today we're going to review StoryOrigin because that is one of my favorite tools. So first of all, what is StoryOrigin and why would you need it? If you're an author, you probably want to share lead magnets to build your mailing list. That could be a recipe book, it could be a bonus chapter, it could be a prequel. There's really no limit to what you can do. I actually share a coloring book for my lead magnet. The other thing that you can do with StoryOrigin is beta readers to get beta feedback, which is actually very unique and something that only StoryOrigin can do. You can sell directly with StoryOrigin, and you can share ebooks, audiobooks, that's it. I was going to say paperbacks, but that's not true. Actually, none of them can share paperbacks. And so that is pretty much the beauty of StoryOrigin and why you would want to use that. Now, let's talk about their competitors. BookFunnel cost exactly the same. So you need the mid-list author to get all of the same features that StoryOrigin has. For this lower cost for the first-time author, it's actually free on StoryOrigin to use all of these features. And then bestseller, you don't need that on StoryOrigin because they don't put limits on here like BookFunnel does. So that is one big advantage. Also, it should be noted that the direct integration for BookFunnel is an additional $50 extra fee. I don't know why it's not included, but it is included and free in StoryOrigin. Also, StoryOrigin will do word count productivity tracking for you. So I use a lot of different apps on my phone that I've tried out and you have to pay for, whereas it's just free on StoryOrigin. You can put your word count, I'll show you that, and it'll tell you how many words you need to write per day. It also allows you to do direct sales. There is a limitation that you have to use Lemon Squeezy as your payment provider. I'm not a fan of Lemon Squeezy, but we'll talk about that as well. So they both have promos. They work exactly the same. One is not superior or worse than the other. And there's really, to me, no reason why you would go to BookFunnel and be limited with all of these limitations and have to pay an extra $50 for direct integration. So Prolific Works, too, used to be a contender. They've kind of fallen by the wayside. It's like they just stopped trying. I don't know why. They used to be called instafreebie when they first came out like 8 years ago, and they were awesome and amazing. And since then, they literally have not changed or added any more features. I don't know why. So this can do even less than BookFunnel. So there's really no reason in my mind to use either of those. So let's go back to StoryOrigin. So to get logged in, you'll usually just get a secret link. You can put a password in, but it'll just give you a secret link to your email address in like 2 seconds. Once you're logged in, which I am over here because you can see over at the top right, it has my email. There's a section for readers and a section for authors. So I can use this platform as a reader to find free books if I want. So let's go ahead and go inside of here. And what I can do is I can look for ebooks, because maybe I just want to read ebooks. This works just like NetGalley if you've ever used NetGalley. So if you head over here to tags, let's say I really just want cozy mysteries, right? So I want cozy and I want mystery and I want amateur sleuth, and that's pretty much it. So once I do that, I get a bunch of different options that meet it'll tell me exactly which tags it meets. So it met all the ones that I asked for, plus a few more. And then I could just go ahead and let's say I really like the peculiar case of Petersburg Professor. I can click on this and I can just click request review copy. And I can go ahead and download it. It'll ask me some questions. So it's just that easy. So again, if I wanted to, let's go back, I could actually ask for audiobooks. Maybe I just don't have time to read, so I want to do an audiobook over here, and I can put the same exact criteria in as before, or maybe I could do something different, and I can check something out. So Tanya Kappas has her Mother's Day Murder, and I can request the audiobook, and that's through Spotify, and then she would ask me some questions, and then once I put my request for the audiobook review through, I'll put it through here, then you can see, whoops, then you can see for need help finding this. This is required. Oh, I have to put my profile link, so I didn't put my profile link, but once you do, then it'll go to the author, and then the author can see look at your profile, see if you're somebody that they want to share it with, and somebody that has read maybe that genre in the past, before they decide whether or not to give you a free copy. So that is the second way. Now, the third way is I could do a group promo. So group promo means I, as a reader, can go ahead and opt in to any of these. So let's say I want to do the romance one. So it'll only give me the ones that are current, so you don't have to worry about old ones being in here. So let's say I just really like this graphic, so I want to try it out. And all of these books are just available right now in this promo. So what does that mean? That means anytime I download any of these books, I am basically signing up for their mailing list. So if I say, click over here, check it out, request review copy, same thing as before. They want my Amazon profile. I have to understand, and then I put a request in there. It's just that they have now put them into a group of like-minded, similar books versus me having to look at books one off here and there. So that is basically the reader experience. Now, the only other thing that I was missing is beta copies. Now, if you've been invited by an author to do beta copies, you'll see any books that you are to give feedback on right inside of here. And if you purchase anything from any author that is selling direct on StoryOrigin, you'll see everything here, which is kind of nice because sometimes if you buy books, direct sales from people, you might forget where that book is. And this way, it's all consolidated in one location. And your reviewer profile, so just like I can set up a reader profile, I can set up my reviews right here, like all those, like that Amazon profile, my Goodreads profile. So then it's all readily available over here, as well as the beta reader profile. So that is the user experience as a reader. Now let's go over to authors. So over here, we're going to go through everything on the left, and they're grouped together in a very, I would say, logical manner. So over here on home, if you have never used this before, his recommendation is always to go here to building your mailing list, and he's giving you a checklist on exactly what to do. Because if you get overwhelmed and you come here and you're like, I'm not sure what to do or how to use this, Evan does a great job, and he actually just tells you. Now, when it says create a reader magnet, if you go over here, he will have all of these different videos on exactly how to do it. So we don't even have to like go through all of them. He's done a great job of giving you the tutorials, and we don't want this to be, even though I do longer tutorials on these, we don't have to go on forever and ever. But over here, where it says custom links, what you can do is you can add a custom domain. So if you go to my Instagram, it just goes to lisasiefert.com. So that's not really useful if I want to redirect them specifically to different links. Now, if you click add a custom domain, it's going to tell you to create a subdomain. A subdomain simply means you take your website and you add a word in front of it. So he's saying, let's use books. So I'll do Lisa Siefert, books.lisasiefert.com. So who manages my domain? It's BlueHost. Now, I actually have not created this subdomain. So what I need to do is I need to go into my BlueHost account. Now, this is going to be different for everybody, but in BlueHost, you go to BlueHost, Hosting, scroll all the way to the bottom. You're going to go to cPanel. And then once you're inside cPanel, you're going to find domains. And then you're going to say create a new domain. And now I'm going to write books.lisasiefert.com. So I'm going to share this with the rest of my root directory, and I am going to submit and create. Now, it does take about, they say the general rule is 24 hours, but it's pretty fast. I don't think it's ever taken longer than that. But once you find your domain inside of here, so obviously it's over here. So I'm going to click Manage, and it says no configuration options currently exist because the domain was just created like 2 milliseconds ago. So I'm going to have to wait until it actually gets totally created, and then I can do all the updates I need to. So what updates do I need to do? Over here, it's going to tell you exactly what to do. I'm going to have to go into CNAME, and I'm going to have to point it to sites.storyoriginapp.com. Now, if you don't know how to do this, don't worry about it. All you have to do, anytime you set up domains, if you're ever nervous and you don't know how to use CNAMEs, just call your host provider, whether it's BlueHost or GoDaddy or whatever, and they will just do it for you usually. Anyways, you're going to pick an author profile over here. You can upload your own image here as well. So I'm going to try that again. I don't know what happened. There it is. And I'm going to save, and I can write the about section. I write cozy mysteries with a dash of sugar. My brand color is definitely not green. It's more of a pink. I could do, it's like a pinkish purple. There we go. That's close enough. All right. Facebook tracking pixel. I don't think this is really a thing anymore. I feel like that's going away. I don't do Facebook ads, so it probably doesn't even matter. Books to display on your homepage. So there are no books in here because I haven't uploaded any, but we'll do that in a second. You don't have any books on StoryOrigin. That is correct. So it's going to tell me here how to do them. And I can refresh the list and add things. I can also do book collection. So once you have books, you can put them into a collection. You can also have a link collection as well. I can add my socials here as well. So I'll go ahead and do that. All right, I think that's everything. And I'm just going to go ahead and say create. And we'll go back and update that once we have books. And again, it's asking who manages it. Don't worry about this. It's not a big deal. It's just because BlueHost has not created that custom domain yet. So next over here is stats. Now this will give you the stats for the last 30 days, and it'll give you stats for your book links, for your direct downloads, your audio links, and your custom links and everything else. So you can track everything. I don't have anything. This is actually, I must have shared this book. This was a promo for that I did for this author, Jennifer Frichetto, for a book that we were reading for book club. So that's why that is there. And then over here on the next section is campaign planner. Now this is a little confusing because you think like, first of all, what is a campaign? A campaign just means you're going to send out an email, but you want to track your links. So you want to know what day you sent out the email and then how many people click that email. Also, you might want to know if you shared a link in somebody else's newsletter, how many people clicked that link. So that's what this will allow you to do. There's a video tutorial for it, but just taking a step back, that is what the planned upcoming campaigns are for. And again, there's all these tutorials here, and you can go ahead and which mailing list will you be sending this to. This will not send out, just be clear, this does not send out emails for you. It's just a way for you to track what emails were sent out and then the links that were clicked. You can see them all here on the calendar once you put them in there, whether they're a promo or it is just a regular campaign or it's a newsletter swap, which means that you have asked another author, hey, will you share my book? And usually it's a lead magnet, or it could be a buy link on Amazon. And then that is how you would track to say, if they said, oh, I have 10,000 people on my mailing list, but let's say you got 2 clicks, that means nobody on their mailing list is interested in you. So there's no point in ever doing a newsletter swap with that person again. For whatever reason, their audience just maybe only likes them, or, you know, who knows? Who knows what happened? Over here, goal trackers. Now, this is what I really like because I use, like I said, Google Docs. So I could put a book in here. So I could do, let's say I'm writing a space cozy mystery. And it's going to be me. And I want it to be 50,000 words because I'm going to self-publish it. And then the start date is I'm going to start working that on Monday. And then I think I should be able to finish that up by, let's say, April 30th. I could put a description in here, space cozy mystery about astronauts addicted to donuts. So I'm going to go ahead and create. Now, this is where the magic happens. So I need to write 980 words per day in order to meet my deadline of April 30th. Now, I can also add in progress. So tomorrow at the end of the day, let's say I had a great day and I wrote 2,500 words. I only have to put information in here on the left on what I wrote that particular day, and then it will update it for me. So now, because I wrote so many words, it will track all of this for me, and it's going to, let's see, will it change it? I think it will change it. Yeah, so 5% is completed. I can add another entry And let's say I change the date for tomorrow. I know that's in the future. And tomorrow I write 3,500 words. Now it's going to do the math for me, and I'm 6,000 words in. I know it's in the past. I know, I'm cheating. So that's probably not going to let me put the dates in until I actually, or sorry, it's in the future until I do it. But for me, that's a really great way for me to actually do my word count, track that, and then also my progress on how to get there and how long it's going to take. So you can, over here, units of measure. If you don't like words, you can measure things by chapters or pages. I feel like that's weird. I've never done it that way. I always do it by words. So anyways, that is probably, I know it's not really like the main feature, but like that's my favorite feature in here because I've been using so many different apps that I just don't like. Okay, so we've gone through quick links, we've gone through the schedule, and now we're into promo. So so remember when I showed you over here as a reader, and we went to group promos. So if you personally would like to create a promo and then invite other authors to participate in it with you, you can do that. I've done that a lot in the past. It's been very successful. You can add a group promo here. Same thing like you saw before. You're going to have to give your promo a title. You're going to have a really pretty, in my opinion, really great graphic to entice people to want to click and then see all the books that are in there. And then you can ask authors whether or not they want to join. You can also join group promos, and you can then see the dates on that and make sure you get everything in. So as you can see here, these are people that created promos. You can join any of these. Just look at the criteria, and then they're free to join. That's usually the best part. So if I go in here to All About Romance, I can apply to this promotion, adding my profile and my title. And again, I don't have any books in here, so it's trying to tell me, hey, you don't have any books, which is true. So anyways, that's why you want to load as much data or all the books or lead magnets or anything you can into StoryOrigin so you're ready to go in case there is a promo that you want to participate in. Newsletter swaps are just usually one-on-one swaps. So if you look, you can go ahead and post a newsletter swap that you would like to do, or you could join somebody else's newsletter swap. So like, let's say, who is this? Cassie Lee Hart writes romance. She has a list of 8,300 on her mailing lists, and she has this click rate and supposedly an open rate and a click rate. So in theory, that is true. You never know. I think it's just honor code, but most people wouldn't lie. And like I said, when you do those tracks, like we saw before, when you do these campaign planners, and I know that I sent one to Cassie, was that Cassie Hart? I can track it and I can see, either one, maybe she lied about her mailing list if I only got 2 clicks, or people on her list just aren't interested in me because maybe she writes really steamy, hot romance and I'm sending a cozy mystery. And they're like, what is this? I'm not going to cross over genres. I wasn't really expecting this, even if I do like mysteries. So those are promotions. The next section is landing pages. So this is where you're going to add a reader lead magnet. And this is the one that I had already added. And this was for Jennifer Fraschetto's book. So after you add this, so if I go over here to view signups, I can see all the people that sign up, like, 5 years ago. And then that I can add to my mailing list, or if I have it linked in integrations down here at the bottom, they're automatically added. So I had a mailing list with MailerLite. If we go into mailing list integrations, and the nice thing about this, again, it's included. I don't know why you have to pay for integrations on BookFunnel, but anyways, mailing list integration, ActiveCampaign. I've actually never heard of author email. Aweber, stay away from it. They have lists. I don't know why. Aweber makes you pay for every list every time you try to separate a list, so don't do that. ConvertKit is great. Email Octopus, I've never heard of that. MailChimp, I actually think MailChimp is great. They're free. MailChimp, I don't know if you know this, but they were purchased by Intuit, the people that have the finance software, QuickBooks. So the customer service and everything has been very corporate and changed a lot over the years. MailerLite, I don't use MailerLite anymore. Like I said, SendFox, I'm not a fan of SendFox or Sendy. And so if you don't have any of these mailing lists, which I use Flowdesk, just because my mailing list is so large, it was just getting really expensive. And Flowdesk charges you a flat fee. So you can just download your emails that you get as a CSV file and then upload them to your email provider. So that works as well. Now, payment platform integrations, and I know I'm skipping ahead since we're already in the integrations, you can only add Lemon Squeezy right now. Now, Lemon Squeezy, the reason I'm not a fan is because Lemon Squeezy charges you a fee. However, Lemon Squeezy does do the taxes for you for books if people are worried about that. Now, you can't actually sell a physical book on StoryOrigin. You can only sell ebooks right now, but there's the VAT tax over in Europe if you're really worried about that. And you're not sure how to do it, then, you know, Lemon Squeezy, that platform, I believe, does do that. So those are the integrations that are available to you for free and already built into a StoryOrigin. Now, these are what are called native integrations, which means that you don't have to use a Zap like Zapier and pay for something to work. And honestly, I don't know any other integrations that you would really need for this. So back to landing pages for reader magnets. So once you do that, you saw the signups, you can do, here's the link that StoryOrigin will create for you. You're going to copy this, and then if I paste this link in anywhere else, this is what readers will actually see, get the download. So I didn't make anyone apply to get the download. Just by going to the landing page, they could get it for free. Now this has expired. So that's something nice too. You can make it so your links expire. Even if I wanted to give this same book out, chapters 1 through 5, over and over again, but I wanted to do them for new campaigns, I could have new links created, just like we saw before in the campaign builder, so I knew which mailing lists were most lucrative or not lucrative. But they're really, really easy to add these reader magnets inside of here. So if I do one like The Witch Wears Prada, and that's me, and the headline, paranormal cozy mystery, and subheading, a humorous Halloween witch cozy with a talking cat. And for tags, remember with reader tags, we saw those before. So the tags I want to add are cozy, and I want to do mystery, and amateur sleuth, and I want to do paranormal, and let's see, and there's witches, which is perfect. So those are the 5 max that I can use, and I don't think anyone will search for anything else. So for an actual description, I think I actually have to go to Amazon to find the description for this book because I don't remember it. Here we go. Welcome to, and we are going to add this over here. And book cover, so I'm going to add my book cover over here, which is right there. And I'm going to save that. And okay, so now I need the EPUB, the Mobi, and the PDF. So how do I actually get that? So I am going to head over to Vellum. And if I want to, I can just import a document. Now you can do this in Adobe InDesign. You can do this in, what else can you do this in? In Scrivener. I have Vellum. I just find it much easier to use. So we are going to just go ahead and upload that. So here it is. Here's all my chapters and my title page. I don't have a publisher logo. Edit title info. So The Witch Wears Prada. And the series name is Frosted Misfortunes. Fortunes, Cozy Mystery. And the author is not MacBook Pro, it is Lisa Seifert. I think that's a middle name. So there we go. And it is book number 3.5. It's in English. I don't have an ISBN. I do have a cover. And the cover, the image is too small. Well, that's all I got. So that's just gonna have to do. So let's go ahead and compile this. So over here under Vellum, you are going to go ahead and save. First of all, we're going to save this under Documents in case our computer crashes. And we are going to export this content. Print settings. Print settings. So I don't need print settings. All right, I forgot to log into Vellum. I have now logged in, so I can now, I was like, where did it go? Okay, so you're going to go to File. We're going to say Generate Books, and I'm going to select what folder I want to put this in. I'm just going to just call this Vellum, and I'm going to choose that. So for I said all ebook platforms and print, and I'm going to say Generate. And it'll be done. Now print, I'm not actually sending this out to print, but that's okay. I need that for the file. So if I go in here, I have the EPUB. I don't think they do Mobi files anymore. I could be wrong. I believe Mobi went away. Yes, that's right. Mobi went away. So that's okay. We can just ignore that. So let's upload our EPUB from our Vellum file. So Kindle. And we have EPUB right there. And if I want to upload the PDF, I can do that as well. Let's print. Is this a preview or sample? Nope. This is the whole book. Automatically send email. So I don't have an email integration, even though my old one was set up. So if you had set up your mailing integration, you would see it here. I could send things to that directly, but that no longer exists. Again, you could add a Facebook tracking pixel. This is not part of this collection. I'm not ready to do that yet. And I'm going to go ahead and say create. Mobi file. All right, Calibre is free if you don't know how to convert this, but I already have, what do I have? I have Scrivener. So I'm going to go ahead and import this into Scrivener, and we will export a Mobi file right from there. So all right, so trying this again. I had to download the Kindle Previewer. So this is the Witch Mobi file. And we'll just put it in downloads. Fingers crossed it works. Kindle document creation failed. Just kidding. I'm not going to be able to finish downloading this set. You will need to get a Mobi file, and once you do, then it will work. And yes, you can download Calibre, which I guess we'll download Calibre. Let's see if this works. And it could be because I have a Mac. The Kindle Previewer is typically a Microsoft product, but I did download Kindle Previewer for Mac directly from the Vellum site. So I know it was the latest. But yeah, it's an app from the internet. Yep, go ahead. Next, finish. Okay, so let's convert books. Let's see if this works. Input format, EPUB. Okay. Let's go ahead and add a book. Let's add the Vellum book. There we go. The Witch Wears Prada. Let's convert that into output format. I want a Mobi. All right, success. It is done. So I can now upload that book if I wanted. So that did give me a Mobi file. I'll show you where it is over here. So, and Calibre is free. You just have to download it. All right, so Universal Book Links. I actually don't use Universal Book Links, and I know you should because maybe people want to buy it at Amazon or they want to buy it at Barnes & Noble or somewhere else. But I just use the Amazon link. I don't know. That's just kind of what I do. You can add direct sales ebooks in here. Again, you will have to use the lemon squeezy in order to have it work on this platform. Over here, review copies. So you can send copies out where you've asked someone to get a review. And so you will check on that and follow up. And that's usually what's called your street team or whatever. Now, so here's the magic. So if I want to add a beta copy, so let's say I'm doing Bonbons and Burglars. So that's my next book that's coming out. That's book 4 in the Frosted Misfortune series. And again, I could tag this as cozy, mystery, amateur sleuth. And I could put a description in here. There's divided by chapters. Book 4 in the Frosted series. What else do they need to know? You must be an avid and active cozy mystery reader. Default reader access expiration. So I can give, like, if they haven't read this by, let's say, April 10th, I could just say it expires. Because, like, if you haven't given me feedback by then, it's probably too late. That's actually probably a month out. So today is the 10th. So maybe I'd say the 29th is fair. Critique guidance. So it could be, did you feel lost without having read books 1 through 3? Were you interested in the characters? Did you find your mind wandering because you were bored? Was there enough suspense? Okay, so I can create all of this. Now I can add chapters. So I can do chapters one at a time, but I already know, like, I have a bunch of chapters already, so I can just go ahead and bulk upload all of these chapters over here. So what am I going to, how am I going to do that? Over here, I think this is, I can upload a doc file. So I also have, where is it? Oh, here it is. Nope, that's the Sakara document. Hold on. All right, I found it. I can upload this as a Word doc. So here we go. And I'm done. Okay, so obviously this looks like one big, huge thing. So I could just say chapter title. Whoops, chapter title. So it kind of knew. It just guessed. I didn't even tell it. It just knew this is chapter 1, 2, 3, 4. So I have 15 chapters done so far in this book. So now what I need to do is I need to make sure everything is in there. I'm going to go ahead and say create. Now, all of these chapters are instantly uploaded for my readers. Now, what I want to do, though, is I want to add questions. So I'm going to add a question, beginning, I'm just going to call it thoughts for chapters 1 through 3. Were you intrigued by the mystery? Did you find the characters compelling enough to continue with the book? Or whatever you want to say, were you bored at any point? And so I'm going to create this questionnaire. Now what I can do, it's all the way at the bottom, I can go ahead and I can move this questionnaire up to the top. So I'm going to move a new section called section 4. And so now it has inserted itself into section 4, which is right after chapters 1 through 3. So that's perfect. So I want all of the answers to be responded to before I want them to go on to chapters 4, 5, 6, and so on. And I could keep adding more and more questionnaires as I want, and maybe they're specific to those chapters. Now, inside of there as well, once they're in the chapters, they can actually add comments. So when I see that I can have comments, readers can highlight things and add their own comments just like they would a document, but then without actually having to share a document with a ton of people. This is, I think, the magical part of the StoryOrigin features is that they can do beta copies. So I feel like that's a big issue for everyone. Now, direct downloads is something, if you don't want to get anyone's email address, I don't know why you would ever do this, but maybe you have their, well, I do know why. Let me take that back. Let's say there are people on your mailing list already, and you're going to just track the links through your email marketing platform. Then you could just give them a direct download because you don't care. You already have their email address. Audio review codes. So this is the same thing whether they're reviewing an ebook or an audiobook. This just gives you a chance to signify that these are audiobook codes versus ebook codes. And then over here we have universal audio links if you want to send that. Now this is where I can actually add things to a book collection once I have my different books inside of here. And so I could have the Frosted Misfortunes collection, or I could have a new paranormal collection. Same thing with links. I could put a bunch of different links together of my leader magnets, or these universal book links, or the audiobook links, or something else. And then that would all be contained within one spot. And we already went over this email mailing lists. And again, this is not going to send emails for you. This is just going to let you track your campaigns and which lists you sent things to. This is the reader magnet signups. Again, for people that already signed up for a magnet that you already had, those were old. We went through this already for the integrations. And here's your author profile that you can add in that we did in the beginning, where I had my image and I had all of my social media links. So everything is already contained inside of here and ready to go. I know this was a really long tutorial. I hope you found this useful. Let me know if you have questions. But again, just to be fair, every time you go into any one of these, there are tons of video tutorials as well as written directions for you. I don't think I've ever had a problem or an issue with using this. I think the most important thing for any application is just that it works. And I know that sounds so basic, but there are so many different applications that people are making for writers that don't work. So I just need something dependable. So I really like all the features it has and the fact that it never lets me down. So that's a wrap on StoryOrigin. I hope you found that useful. And again, I think it is better than BookFunnel. It's definitely better than Prolific Works, and I think there are some new ones coming out there that are trying to mimic these same features, but again, none of them really do everything that StoryOrigin can do, and that's why that is my #1 recommendation. All right, I hope everyone's having a fabulous and wonderful day, and I will see you next week for the next tutorial.